Qualifications of carrier pigeons. Since carrier pigeons are bred for racing purposes, intelligence and success in races have always been given more importance than their form characteristics. This does not mean that some visible qualities are not sought in carrier pigeons. On the contrary, it is the common goal of every breeder that the bird has the desired physical qualities in addition to its success in races. When it comes to the question of what these qualities are, feature structure. Feather structure is one of the most important features sought in carrier pigeons. When you hold a good carrier pigeon in your hand, you should feel like you are touching silk. Soft feathers like velvet are an indication that the bird comes from a good lineage. Why is feather structure so important? Because a pigeon with poor feathers gets wet quickly in light rainy weather and therefore cannot stay in the air for a long time. Since we cannot know what kind of weather conditions await our birds in races, pigeons that can stay in the air in all weather conditions and do not get wet are very important to us. I sometimes fly my birds, especially in light rainy weather, to test them in my own coop and determine which ones get wet and which ones don't. This year, I have never seen my male bird named Blue Rambo, born in 2000, who came 35th in the Istanbul-Calcut 950 kilometers air distance race, get wet. Moreover, he came back the day after this race with his chest muscle torn by a hawk. If he hadn't been injured, I'm sure he would have performed better. This pigeon has been racing for 3 years and has won countless awards. His brother Black Rambo doesn't have as good feather as him, so he only races in gear, short distance, and has won countless bets and awards. He tried the long distance once and failed and returned home late. I'm writing this just to give you an example of the differences between the two brothers. There's no doubt that even though they compete in different categories, both are extremely important pigeons to me. However, the marathon long distance pigeon must definitely have a perfect feather structure. The famous expert Pete de Weird says, "Feed the moist birds of dry coops. Do not feed the dry birds of moist coops." What this world-famous expert wants to say is that, in my opinion, birds in moist coops are not healthy and have a dry and brittle feather structure. But since birds in dry coops are healthy, their feathers are slightly oiled, and a protective white powder covers the feathers as if they were powdered, and these birds give people the feeling of having a moist feather structure. Beak and eye structure. Eyes are of great importance in carrier pigeons. Many breeders emphasize the importance of eyes, especially in breeding selections. Personally, I believe in this theory, albeit partially, and I attach importance to it. The eyes of a carrier pigeon should have extremely vivid and metallic colors. A pigeon with dull eyes definitely has a health problem. Just as eyes are the mirror of the heart in humans, eyes are the mirror of health in birds. If a bird's nostrils and beak are closed and it emits bubbles from its eyes, this pigeon is unhealthy. There is a difference between a normal healthy pigeon and a super healthy pigeon. We want to have super healthy birds. In addition, when you drop eye drops into the bird's eye, the eye of a super healthy pigeon absorbs this drop immediately, while the eye of an unhealthy or normal healthy pigeon does not absorb the drop and flows to the sides. In pairings, we definitely match birds with opposite eye colors. In this way, the offspring that will emerge will have lively eyes. The eyes are located on the bird's body, on the upper part of the head, and are slightly sunken inward. In some birds, the eyes look forward, almost like squint, towards the bird's beak, and these birds are usually extraordinary breeders. The beak should not be too long, it should be medium-sized, and the nostrils should be wide enough to allow for easy breathing. When you draw an imaginary line from the beak to the eyes, this line should pass right through the middle of the eyes. The head should be of sufficient size and balance with the body, and should have a slightly curved, round appearance. The gum, cere, on the beak should be snow white and smooth, and there should be no gaps in between. Depending on the breed of the bird, this gum can be large or small. Gogus Kemiji. Her Eni Kater Yaroslarda Kisa Gogus Kemiji, Sib, Kuslerin de Kazandiji, Garos, de uzun ve hafif, e jimli, ber gogus kemici, tersis sebebilir. Zira gogus adalalari atma esnesinda gogus kemicin baski wigular. Gogus kemici eni kader uzun, olursa biu wigulanan baskinin, sedeti daha genis, berlana yailakaji isen, kus daha az yorlar. Erika kuzum, on terrafinda your alan gogus kismanin, hafif yuvarlanmasi, v genislik arzetmasi jalismus, ber sigar yapazinin goster jessider. Gogus kemici vyukin on kismindin sikin tili olarak basler v, arkaya kader, uzanarak cattle taber, itigemis kisma, yakin biter. Kusu alimais aldajamizda elamiz aloxamac shurtile gogus kemigini, control letterken ani zamanda gogus kemiginin, or iki aninda, uralan gogus adalalarini, control etmis aliurus. Gover sind adale yapasi, sock 1 emliter. Mumkin olda gunka jalismus ve esnek, all maliter. Gogus kemiginin kavetli olap almadigini testetmek isen, elimais aldigimis uversin insertina, her iki elimizin ba parmaclari yardamila baski wigularis. Huasnada butin yup gogus kemigine bindijai, isen uversin and gogus kemigi, sayed, zayifsa biu baskia, dianamaz v koroganu, havaya dikmek shurtile tepki gostra. Gogus kemigi guklu olin goversin, isi koroganu yir dogu sarkatir. Huigulame yaparkan sok dekatli alin maliner, zira, asiri baski goversin socket liquor and nedin, olabler. Sirt vea bl. Goversin cert vea beldan maguku assasindin. Sun di ris guklu all maliner. Genis berbel kuruga dogru deralir. Iakler. Ins. Asik pem v pulses all maliner. Iak uzun vea kisa olabler. Jegmist iaklari sok uzun ol dugu isen burkok, the goversin elenmister. Oisig uversin in iak yuksekliji, genel yapasila dogru orantalider. Ankakar iki iak boida berberile esik uzun lukta all maliner. Byri uzun byri kisa all maliner. Kanapler. Bukanuda, bu gyun katersak sasitli tiorler or taya, atilsa, de genel de suns. Berguversen in kazamasi, isen iki adet canadinen all masinin yetterli old dugu seklanditer. Bonunla bereber kisa safe yerislari isen kisa, kanatli ve sprinter ozalij, siap kusler daha wigunder. Uzun safe yerislari isen isi, uzun kanatli goversinler daha wigunder. Benim tersahin goversin yer derwerpit. Kanat yuzun lagu quirak userin uzanan si sizgai. O termasai hada bu sis g, sok az jekmezuk. Kuzin kanadini elpes sekline yana dogoraktigenizda ozalaikolen, bustaki ilk dort telek ani boida. Almali v digger teleklurden berais olarak uzun all maler. Bu for telek uklari bikak jibi keskin almali v, disa dogru ejim goster melod. Kuzin kanadini 2 eri kasimda, yeli alikak olersak ilk 10, adet, Bayak telek, Byron sil canatir. Digger kisa 10 adet telek isi iconsil canatir. Kuzin Byron sil canadinin sun telegi, olin 10. Da telek digger iconsil, kanat teleklaren in baslan jacinda, berais olarak yupsex bu, tars, kus, is yerislari isen culinilabler. Rezim 1. Uralan koyu kara kagmakli disai goversin, 2 defa 800 kilometers yerisinda kazambis ber goversinder. Sun telek dikadidelsek, Olursa digerlarinden, by res kissider. Buddha ordemissafe kuslarinen typic ozeligidir. Rezim 2. Bugoversin isi vits yerislari isen ideal, ber kanat yapasina sahipter. Orda vi usen misafe kuslarila carcelastral dinda vits, goversin byron silken atlerin, orantalai olarak arterak, usen lastigini gerursinus. Rezim 3. Orda misafe kuslarinen kanat yapasini goryorsinus .7 v. Teleklern baslayan ber step. The safe. Farki Gazel Goromectiter. Erika Vits V. Ordemissafe Kuslerinda, Sun, Dort Telek Aracinda, Belurli, Burasicyclic Barter. Rezim 4. Maratone Goversini. Canadan Architerafinda your Alan Kisa Tyler Kanadi Tamim and Kapladigi, Isen Kuzin, Uzin Shore, Habeta Kalmasini, Cole Lasterior. Posta Goversin Canadan Vukutla Berlestigi, Noctada your Alan, on Cole Mumkin Olda Dunka Kisa, on Mali Buraya, Iseret Parmajamizi, Soctagamuzda Baskabasla Kalmaliter. Quirak. Posta Goversin Quirakadata, Berdumin Vazafisi Gordagu, Isen V. Havadaki, Dinga Assasindin Sock 1 emliter. Vukad Toleri Quiragun Baslangic Noctacinda Astunu or Terankak, Sock Fazla Uzan Alma Maliter. V. Ber Posta Goversin Quiragun, Sock Fazla Uzan V. Asik Almasai, Havadaki Denjizi Assasindin, Alamsas Lukler Yaradabiller. Kuruga General Lambda Bakilda Jinda, Sona, Dogru Duralmali Via Data, Tech, Bertai Garunta Super Melader. Quirak Boyu cannot use on Lagundan, N Fazla 1 cm Fazla Olabular. Posta Guversanini Elini's Aldigenes de Burkak, de Kikasak and Lesbisi, Isen Bekeldicta, Sonrar, Iki Limousin, Parmaclarini, Jevsitmek Shurtile, Cusan Iaclarini, Serbus Baracaris. The Bur Posta Guversini Bu, Ilam Yapaldictan, Sonra Kurugani of Vaskir Dogru Sarkatir. Buyantum Posta Guversini, Sek Melarin Sika Kulinua. Denga. Posta Guversin Bucudan Dengili Almasai, Sok 1 Emlader. Kusu Elini's Aldigenes de Agarligini, 1 Dogru Vermali Jalismus, Bur Adel Yapasina, Siap Almaliankak, Sok Agir Almamalader. Zira Agir Kusler, Uzan Shur Haveda Kalamaz V. Kabuk Urler. Erika Ondengenis Olarak Baslayap, Arkaya Dogru Daralan Data Ukshan, Seklandeki Sportif, Vukutlu Kusler Tersi Edler. Dangi Liber Gubersind Iaclarinden Kafasina Kader, Olin Masaf, Al Gogsunden Quirak Sunnen Kader, Olin Masaf, Esset, All Malader. Reng V. Digger Unsurler Hick Onemli de Gilder. Sonic Itabario her Rankton Sampion, Almas Kuslamev Cutter. Aces Olin Tech Se Cusan Garunin Mental, Vasaflorinden Z. A. Gormayan. Z. Hinsel, Vasaflarider. Binim Sasi Fikrim and Bayak Usman Dahi Kusu El Degerlender Kanyanal Gia Duspiller and